Hi guys, and welcome back to Dudley Central. This is the March 2021 update, and I just want to show you a couple of the bits and pieces that I've been doing on the layout, and to show you a couple of the new additions that I've had as well. Some very exciting ones indeed, and I hope you'll like them as much as I do. As always, comments and feedback are always really welcome. I really appreciate the input from you guys, and yeah, I hope you enjoy what you see, and yeah, feel free to subscribe for more. So I'm going to start from my usual left to right just to show you what I've been doing, and the last point that I was showing you was that this point here that was going in, it was a curved set track point, and what that does is it links the through platform where the class 37 is with this kind of passing loop platform, platform 1. Now what this does is it brings the line round to where the viaduct is, and it works quite well. I say quite because I am having a couple of issues with this point at the moment. Some of you are probably screaming at me saying, yeah, we knew that when you went and put it in, but again, it might just be an issue with a point, I don't know, but the problem seems to be occurring with the steam locos. The diesels and multiple units seem to be going over it with not much of a problem. Every now and again my class 58 does trip over, one of the axles sort of come off, but it seems to be the steam locos particularly coming in off this passing loop platform. The I think is it the leading kind of bogie, is it the pony or something like that? When it comes off, it comes off straight away. I've tried it with one of my new locos and also Tornado. It just doesn't like it. Absolutely fine coming along here on the obviously on the sort of larger radius, but it is just not happy at all with it. So I didn't want to push on too far. This piece of track here isn't pinned in at all. I wanted to leave this as long as I could and do as much testing before pushing on, but I am coming to the point now where I'm thinking I might look for an alternative solution. So what I am thinking now is actually mirroring the other side of the layout and having a point here at the end of the viaduct, and what that will do is I'll have a kind of curve off here into platform 1, a bit smoother, and then obviously this one round there. I'm going to try and relax that curve as much as I can as well. I'm just going to experiment with it and see how it goes. As I say, the only bits that may need to be taken slightly up is this kind of curve here, but it's not too much of a deal. It's only stuck down with copy decks, so it should come up quite easily. And potentially I may have to put a bit of timber here just to bridge that gap if the track's going to be coming across. But if anyone else has had an issue with a curve point like this and they managed to crack it, please let me know, because I don't really want to take track up if I don't have to, but it is an issue I'm experiencing with the steam locos coming out of this point. Coming in, it's not so much of a problem, it's coming that way, they're just not happy at all. So yeah, that's where I'm at the moment, and as I say, all the diesels, they all seem to be running quite happily, but I do want everything to run on this if it can. So that's that part of the layout. I have also added, none of it's fixed in at all, but I've added some whiteboards just to the back. It's just some 3mm hardboard from B&Q. I think I'm going to paint the back scenes rather than go photographic. I've done photographic before, but I I do find a lot of layouts all have the exact same into the town back scene, and that's fine. I like that. I've used that one before, but I fancy doing something a little bit different. So I'm going to experiment with painting. I've looked at some painting clouds videos on YouTube, and I think I might make a go of that and see how we get on with it. But the reason I put them in, I just wanted to, I noticed when I was taking photos that they didn't really look that great, but actually with the white background in place, I'm getting better photos just that I take and pop on my Instagram and what have you. But I will be securing those in, I think, in the next couple of weeks and start painting, so I'm quite excited to do that. So as I've just been panning this area, you may see I've done some more work on the retaining wall arches, just to take a break from doing wiring. I think I did say in the previous video I've gone for the L-Cut Creative retaining walls. A fantastic little kit. As I say, I've gone for the shops under the arches appearance, and as you can see, I'm a little bit short because I haven't made the final two yet. The final two will be going in a separate video. These kits are really easy to build, but I just wanted to show you how easy they are, and then perhaps look at painting them and showing the different effects that you can get. But in theory, this arch here is going to be there. I'm going to have one more shop unit here, and then I'm going to have another filled in arch there, and then the gap in between the station's going to go there or thereabouts. I may play around with this. I'm just looking at this cross member here and thinking actually this shop unit can't go there, so it might have to be that way around. But we'll figure it out. I'll have a play around with that and see how the station unit is actually going to fit in. I'm quite excited to have a go at that as well, but I can't find a printer yet. So one of the things I try and do with my stations is I use some of the scale scenes printouts quite a lot to detail them, and I design my own stuff on Microsoft PowerPoint and print it out. But I can't find a printer anywhere. I don't know if it's to do with the lockdown and pandemic and what have you. But yeah, that's what's holding the station up at the moment. But yeah, that's where we are at the moment. I quite like this street scene. I think that is the look that I've been going for, with having the trains running along top like that, with the vehicles going along by. So I'm quite happy with how that's coming together. I'm taking a bit of inspiration from Livery Street on by Birmingham Snow Hill, and I'm going to go for a blue brick kind of look with it. Yeah, I'm feeling quite happy with how this is starting to take shape. I think what I will do is build some patrices above here just to make up the difference, and then have some railings going along the top so it doesn't obstruct the view of the trains too much, but obviously acts as a safety barrier for anyone who is walking along the track. Well, authorised people, I guess. There shouldn't be random people walking along the track, but yeah, that's the plan anyway. I have been looking at Manchester Oxford Road as well as a bit of inspiration, but if anyone else knows of any other stations like this, yeah, let me know, and I can do a bit more research then as well, and have a look for something that's prototypical. But yeah, the road scene as well, it hasn't really changed an awful lot. I am thinking of having a girder bridge of some sort here, just to kind of finish that off, and then this block here I think is going to become a Tesco. I just need to sort of figure out how I'm going to merge this in. Perhaps I'll go for another one of these and fill that gap with that, or maybe something a bit different just to mix it up a little bit. But yeah, I'm quite happy with how the station's starting to take shape. It's nice to see some trains in, albeit there's only 2 lines that are actually operational at the moment, but so I really wanted to have a crack at the arches just to do something a bit different. I was fed up with the wiring. So I think in the previous video I think the track only got to about here or so, and it just reached a dead end. So actually this month I've been working on getting that complete. I'm thinking the end of the platform is going to be roughly here, because that gets in a 5-car HST with the power cars, which is what I think the longest train will be at Dudley Central. So what I've done is I've put some super elevation on the track to give it a bit of a tilt. So what I've used is some 1mm card all the way here. What I did find on this piece of track was that all the class 47s seem to tilt and come off at this point. So what I fixed that with was I think it was just off some packaging, but this piece of card seemed to do the trick, so I've wedged that underneath the sleepers, and the running's absolutely fine now. I've tested steam locos, class 47s, 58s, the works basically, and that all seems to be working quite happy. But yeah, I'm really happy with the appearance that the super elevation gives. It was really easy to do. I just used copy decks again. I use rocket card glue to actually secure the card to the cork, but yeah, copy decks run then over the top. And then, as I say, I've laid the track. I've tried to do it again to the sort of prototypical spacing on sleepers, and this is all wired in now. I'm getting some nice running shots, and I've now even gone as far as linking it up to this point, which is obviously the diverge off the main line into the passing loop. So the hole's already been drilled for that one. I'm absolutely going with this point here, and I think, as I say earlier in the video, I think this is what I'm going to mirror the other side of the layout coming from the bridge, because I don't have any problems with stock going over this, and I think it still looks quite prototypical. It doesn't look too harsh, the curve, and as I say, the running has been absolutely fine. So in terms of track work, obviously I will be adding the southbound line, which will be going following this profile, and then I need to start thinking about how this mail depot in the corner is going to all sort of sit with it all. But yeah, no, I'm really happy with how everything's taking shape at the moment, and that is as far as I've got. The bus garage is still here, with some concrete sleepers, and at the moment I'm happy with this position for it. It's not in the way of anything, and I think that might be where it stays, although I've said that every video we're somewhere different, so we'll see. But yeah, I'm not going to embarrass myself and show the other side of the layout because it is a mess, but overall here's a kind of pan of the work I've been doing, and I am really happy with how it's taking shape now. It's starting to feel a bit more like a model railway rather than just track on boards, and yeah, let me know what you think about that station approach at the other end. Quite keen to hear what you think on that one. But yeah, I look forward to showing you this all start taking shape, and you know, once the track is done, where that load hall 37 is and the class 90, I'll be quite keen to get some scenics added. So I've also had a couple of big additions for the layout in the last month. I'm really happy with all of them that I've got. This one in front of you has been the big one, and that is the Bachmann Shakespeare Express. It is of course a steam set, which is a bit unusual on Dudley Central, but there is a good reason why I've gone for this one. So as I say in the last video, I got a set of chocolate and cream Mark 1s, and absolutely when I bought those I had this set in mind. I've been looking for a heritage set that fits in with the West Midlands in the late 90s and early 2000s, and looking here and there, I had a couple of options. I did have a look at the Princess Elizabeth. I thought that was a very pretty loco, but thinking about it, Dudley Central is on the Great Western Line. Those Mark 1s that I'd bought, they were Western Region, and then doing a bit more research, this particular loco, which is Rood Ashton Hall, is run out of Tyseley, which is in the West Midlands, and that started operating, I believe, from around 1998. I think right up to about 2017 actually, with this set. So in the Shakespeare Express set you get this Bachman Hall locomotive, which is it is very beautiful actually. It's a really nice loco, very well detailed. I didn't enjoy putting a decoder in though, it was a bit fiddly. I went for a Zimmo decoder on this one, but you know, it was a bit tricky getting the wires in over the chassis. But other than that, I'd say yeah, it's a very nice loco. Seems to pull okay, and yeah, quite happy with that. And I think it fits in with my layout really well. In the set you get a chocolate and cream Mark 1, which is really nicely detailed. It is slightly better than the Hornby one when you put them side by side, but there is not much to it. They are still pretty good coaches. You also get some Pullmans, and these are the vintage trains Pullmans, and they come with the little table lights, which are a nice little touch. And then you also get a open top bus, which is this one. I can't remember now what type of bus that is, but it is a Stratford Tour bus. It's a very nice little model. Obviously this isn't Stratford upon Avon, this layout, but I quite like it, so I'm just going to stick it on the layout. So yeah, no, it's a really nice set. So I'll just show you it with the other Mark 1s. What I'm planning on running this as is Rood Ashton Hall. It's going to have its 3 coaches in front of you, and then I'm going to add 2 further chocolate and cream Mark 1s to make that into a 5 coach set. In reality this train runs with chocolate and cream Mark 2s, but you can't seem to get those, so I'm going to run with Mark 1s anyway, and that's what I'm going to go with, and that will fit the platforms on this layout as well. So I've now just added the chocolate and cream Mark 1s to the rear of this train, and that is it in its entirety. I quite like it. I quite like the differing coaches. I think it makes it a bit interesting, and actually having the Pullmans between the Bachman Mark 1 and the Hornby Mark 1 makes it slightly less obvious, the difference. It is very subtle, but it is noticeable when they're side by side, so that I'm quite happy with this arrangement. Something I was worried about was I had seen some reviews which said the Bachman Hall had pulling power issues. I've not noticed any. As I say, I'm only going to have a 5 coach rake like this, and it seems to run it absolutely fine, from what I can tell. But just going back to the Bachman Hall locomotive, that was the first to struggle on this curve point here, and it was this leading kind of bogie that kept tripping over it. I don't know if there's something I can do to the loco to make it a bit more tolerant. If anyone else come across that, please let me know. Please drop a comment. I'd really appreciate that. But yeah, as I say, really nice set, and I would recommend that if anyone's modelling this region and era. So the other new addition I've had this month has been these really lovely Acura scale JSA steel wagons. These are in the British Steel livery, which appeared around 1996. I've only gone for a pair just to make my steel train look a bit more interesting, but they are really nicely detailed wagons. I won't do a full review, but the detail, even as far as the handles on the doors, not the doors, sorry, the shutters, you can actually use them to unlock it so that the shutters can be pushed back and you can put steel loads on. I'm really quite impressed with these. Now, they're a nice colour. The livery is really well applied. Yeah, there's not much else to say about them really. You'll see them running with the steel train shortly. But I had to go for these just because operationally they used to run to Round Oak Steel Terminal near Dudley, and also to Wolverhampton. So my layout is slap bang in the middle of those steel terminals. So I therefore had to go for a pair of these. But yeah, the only sort of downside I had, so there's rails within the wagons which seem to have arrived fallen off. So we'll need to glue those back on at some point. But other than that, I've been really impressed with them. They seem to run really well as well. So the last loco, which is probably worthy of noting, is this Intercity Class 90. It's not a new addition, but it has been a problem child for the layout since about mid-January, I'd say. Basically, it seemed to inherit the problem that the early batch had, where an internal kind of thing, probably not the best terminology, snapped internally, and it meant that the bogie at this end completely dropped off, and it was rattling inside, making a terrible noise, and I was gutted. The loco just wouldn't run. The motor, you could hear it was whirring away. Obviously something had gone quite wrong with the loco. So I sent this off to Bachmann. Unfortunately it wasn't under the warranty, so there was a bit of a service charge. It wasn't too bad in the end, but Bachmann did fix it. They sent it out, and you're not going to believe it, the same problem happened again. What they had done is they completely replaced the bogie, and yeah, as I say, it was rattling around, didn't move again, so I sent it back to Bachmann to fix it again. Good on them, they didn't charge me for the second repair, and they sent it back again just last week, and it all seems to be working. They seem to suggest it took a knock in the post. The jury's out on that one, I don't know, but I'm just relieved to see it running again, because as I say, quite a few quid got spent on this loco. It is a really nice loco, and I didn't want it to put me off getting future Class 90s, because obviously they were quite popular around the West Midlands around this time, and I'm hoping that the next batch of Class 90s, firstly one's in Virgin Trains, and secondly doesn't seem to have this issue with bogies, because I think that's why Bachmann have held back on releasing the 90 in this newest announcement of models. But as I say, loads of videos on YouTube. It is a stunning loco, the Bachmann 90, but I do question the build quality of it. Yes, it's got better features than the Class 87 by Hornby, it's got better lights, pantograph's a lot better, but I've never picked up the Hornby 87 and worried that something's going to fall off and break. And to me, I do feel a bit delicate with this 90. Not that I'm rough with my models, but I've certainly been a bit shaken with just how delicate this model is. But there you go. You live and learn. Some people probably could have tackled that repair themselves, but I just didn't feel confident enough to do it. And Bachmann do provide a good service for it, so credit where credit's due. So that's it for this update. I do apologise for the shakiness of the videos. I have lost my tripod. It's in the garage somewhere, but it is a mess in here. So what I'm going to probably do for much of the next month is just have a big tidy, a big clear out, and I'll be a bit more organised, and I'll make sure next video everything's on the tripod. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. Please leave a comment and leave a like or a dislike, whatever. I like hearing your feedback and how I can improve my videos, and all the best for April. Take care, bye for now.